is our only politician and our knight in shining armour in the political world, highlighting Tara and the destruction that's happening on our hill. Please make a big welcome for MEP Kathy Synnott.
We are called here today by the Harpers to observe a tradition as old as Ireland. Thousands of years ago, such an announcement, such a call, would have sent people hurrying to the great amphitheatre of Lismullen. Then people understood the importance of the call of the Harpers, because they understood the harp and revered the harper. They knew the significance, and they would have waited in anticipation for the announcement. Would it be news of war, victory, maybe a feast, maybe a birth, a wedding, or perhaps a funeral? Only the most important events would muster the Harpers. Unfortunately, we cannot meet in the amphitheatre of Lismullen or the traditional seat of power in Tara. So instead we've been summoned to Leinster House, the home of the present Irish Assembly. Great events are happening. Lismullen, Baronstown, Rathloo, the haunts of the past which have lived on, respected to this day, are to be no more. A funeral indeed. Lest the thousands of motorists paying their €1.90 to cross the graves forget, the Harpers are gathering to mark their passing. But there's magic in the harp, and there cannot be harp music without hope. The hope will be strong, and the notes rising above the noise of this passing traffic will be as a prayer for deliverance and turn the tide. But why is it that we need deliverance when I've personally been assured that these works are illegal under European law? But this government, which is supposed to represent us, to be our voice and administer our will, is trying the dirtiest trick of all. They're trying to rush the work through so that once the EU has had time to rule on the matter, it will be too late. They are like a 3-year-old who, when told to share his dessert with a sibling, stuffs the whole thing in his mouth and says, "But it's all gone." We wouldn't allow that in our children, and we must not allow that bullying behaviour from them. In 50 or 100 years, when the world's supply of oil is gone and our reliance on personal transport has lessened, please God, will our grandchildren have to tell their children about the generation who sold the seat of the High King and the amphitheatre of Lismullen to build a motorway that the Meath County Development Plan, the Navan City Development Plan, the Strategic Planning Guidelines for the Greater Dublin Area, and the NRA's own Strategic Roads Plan all say is unnecessary? But I, for one, have not given up, and I can see you're the same. I have hope that we can stop this travesty. I believe that the Harpers are heralding a change of fortunes for this sacred place. Everywhere I go in the EU institutions and in my constituency of Munster, I see rallying support for Tara. Everyone I tell the story to is appalled that we would sacrifice our heritage for such meagre purpose. We are gathering support for Lismullen from all corners of the EU and the world. It's my hope and daily work to bring the government to account for their actions thus far, and we hope it can come soon enough to save us. I urge you all to do anything and everything you can to slow the project, to protest to your TD and your MEPs and spread the word that the Harpers are coming, the Harpers are coming.
Mille Margaret's Kathy Synnott. I'd like to welcome one of our own actors who has made a name for himself and done us proud and is on the big screen and from Hollywood. I'd like to welcome Stuart Townshend.
Get up. No falling. Okay, good. How are you? Nice to see you all come out. Thank you very much. Yeah, I just arrived, so I wasn't quite expecting to be up on the platform. But anyway, just quickly, I guess I joined this campaign 3 years ago. The reason is I love Tara. I went up there, I've been up there, gone up there all my life, and it's a very spiritual and sacred place for me. It's an incredible place, great energy up there. And obviously when I found out that they wanted to put a motorway over it, I was as outraged as many of the people I've joined up here with. We were, you know, condemned it and we were outraged. And I think that was the right response. But I have to say, you know, it's been 3 years now since I've been on the campaign. In a sense, the media painted our group as anti-progress and, you know, we all want to live in mud huts. And it's not true. You know, all of us, all along, we've always said, we understand that Meath residents don't want to sit in traffic any more than I do, or any more than anyone wants to. And I agree with that. You know, there has to be, you know, there is economic growth. I think in this country, the fact that Ireland, I grew up here in the 70s, it's a different place. It's better for, you know, having all the prosperity. I think it's fantastic. But obviously, you need to balance that out with environmental and heritage protection. And you need that too. And today is the autumn equinox. It's a day of balance where the night and the day are in balance. And I think it's a very good day to say to the government, you have to balance this out. This motorway it's not acceptable. It's not sustainable. And what's very exciting, two things have happened. One thing that's very exciting is that there's been this new plan. I don't know if anyone's spoken about it, but it's called the Meath Master Plan. And I would urge the government and all serious journalists and any concerned citizens to go on sacredireland.org and go on to the Meath Heritage link and check this plan out. I've read it. I think it's brilliant. I think it's sustainable. It gives the Meath residents the infrastructure that they need, but it also gives the people like us who value heritage what we want as well. It's a win-win situation. We don't have to have this motorway. The part of this plan, I'm not going to go into it in detail, but part of the plan does include the motorway, but it does preserve this sacred Tara Screen Valley that we need to preserve. And I think it's a win-win situation. I really hope the government, Gormley and Bertie Ahern, I really hope they give this serious consideration, because if they do, you know, Tara is symbolic right now of modern Ireland. And if we let this motorway go through, then we let an unsustainable motorway go through. Half the money that Irish people will pay on the toll roads will be going to a private company, a Spanish company. And, you know, this plan actually is a different thing. It's saying, buy out that company. There's a way to do that where when Irish people pay a toll, it goes back to Irish people and not to some Spanish, you know, some foreign country. I think that's a good thing. It also encourages sustainability for Meath residents. There's the idea of a World Heritage Park, which would give Meath residents jobs that they want and they need. And altogether, I urge you all to check it out. I urge the government to check it out. It's a great plan. And if we do it, it'll really symbolise how we can actually have economic growth, but also balance it out with sustainability, which I think we all agree. You know, we all want economic growth, but we also want to preserve our environment and our heritage. So that's what I'm here today to say. It's amazing to see the Harpers out here representing our culture. And tomorrow, hopefully, some of you guys can come up on the hill. A friend of mine, John Quigley, who's done work all over the world. We're going up on the hill of Tara on Sunday, tomorrow, at 1:30. Hold on a sec, hold on a sec. Hold on a sec, I just want to get this message out. If anyone can come up to the hill at 1:30 on tomorrow morning, we're going up there to create a giant human harp to symbolise our heritage. It's going to be made up of hundreds of people, so if you do come up, you get to participate and you get to be a little spot in that giant harp. The Irish Times it'll be on the front page of the Irish Times tomorrow. It'll be a massive aerial image, and you can say to your friends, there's me, I'm that little dot there, I'm the string or whatever. And also, hopefully we'll get some of these beautiful harpists to come along and we'll have a great celebration, because it does need to be a celebration. We need to get beyond being divided on this issue. I think we all agree, environment, preserve it, preserve our heritage, and we also, you know, we get the infrastructure that we need. Thank you very much.